When we're talking about what's at stake here, what's on the line for Russia? What's on the line for the United States, Ambassador?
Well, I think this relationship is at its lowest point probably in 30 years. There's no trust. There's very little communication. Good, I think, that they're meeting today because we're adversaries with Russia. There are lots of issues that divide us. I don't expect major progress on issues, barring any surprises from President Trump and President Putin, but a lot on the line.
Ambassador, the question is what comes out of this summit today? I mean, Vladimir Putin clearly wants the U.S. to soften or remove sanctions that have hurt Russia's economy, but a move like that would certainly cause dismay back here in the United States, especially after the Justice Department's indictment of 12 Russian officials.
Right. We have sanctions. The U.S. and the EU have sanctions on Russia over its annexation of Crimea. We also have sanctions over the nerve agent attack in the United Kingdom. And third, of course, the Senate voted last summer 98-2 to impose sanctions on Russia over its interference in our election. That just got more complicated for both of these leaders with the grand jury indictment of 12 Russian military intelligence officials. So I think what to look for today is, does President Trump actually raise that issue in a forceful way? Because there's no doubt there's been an attack on our country, and now you have this legal process underway, or does he not do that? He said going in a tweet this morning, he said that the poor condition of this relationship is the foolishness and stupidity of his predecessor, American presidents. Not a wise thing to say.
And especially because he has yet to condemn publicly any meddling on behalf of the Russians. He said on Friday in an international news conference with Theresa May, well, I'll ask him about it, but I don't expect any admission here. And then at the same time, Ambassador, you're comparing that to the way he's talking about previously our allies and now those alliances, our commitment to NATO, whether the EU is truly a foe when it comes to trade as opposed to a strong trading partner. How do you balance what has happened with our European allies with what may happen with Russia?
I think you're right. I think, you know, the story today that a lot of people will be watching is the optics between the two of them. Does President Trump raise forcefully this criminal conspiracy that the grand jury talked about in its statement on Friday of Russia attacking our elections? It's one thing just to ask Putin the question. You know he's going to say, he's going to deny. But can you raise it forcefully and defend the American people in our country? And the second part of that optics is the president had a rough trip in Brussels and London. He attacked Theresa May. He picked a fight with Angela Merkel. Yesterday, he called the EU our foe, which no American president has done. It's not a true statement. And so is he going to treat Putin better than he treats our NATO and EU allies? Unfortunately, I think we're looking at that today to see if the president is going to be on point defending the United States against, I think, arguably our strongest adversary in the world today, and that's Vladimir Putin.
Hey there, thanks for checking out CNBC on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe to stay up to date on all of the day's biggest stories. You can also click on any of the videos around me to watch the latest from CNBC. Thanks for watching.